6 p.m. in Bafoutou in the northwest region of Cameroon, same time right here in Douala. Good evening, dear viewers. It is a pleasure bringing you on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. First, our major stories. At least 30 students are currently receiving medical attention in different health facilities after being involved in a ghastly road accident on the Bay Cliff. The students who are en route to Garua for university games incurred injuries after the vehicle experienced a mechanical fault. Right here in Douala, we'll tell you how a fake landlord has been arrested in Bonamusa, the Douala 5 subdivision. The suspect is said to have extorted at least 28 million francs CFA from his victims for the past 5 years. In today's edition of the news, we'll be revealing to you Franklin's modus operandi, and also we'll take you out of Cameroon as General Muhammad Idris Deby Itno takes over the helm of Chad today as a democratically elected president. He was sworn in today after winning the May 6th presidential elections. Those are major stories. Stay with us for details and more. This is a 6 p.m. edition of the news, and for presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. At least 30 students are currently receiving medical attention after their vehicle was involved in a ghastly road accident on the Bay Cliff while they were on their way to Garua to take part in the university games. Malaglory reports.
This shattered 70-seater bus that had on board several students of the University Institute of Science got involved in a ghastly road accident, with several students incurring severe injuries. On the side are security elements who are struggling to save those who might have been trapped in the vehicle.
Nous étions sur la falaise et le véhicule le chauffeur.
When the driver noticed that his vehicle had a mechanical fault, he struggled hard to control his steering, so he decided to get to the other side of the road so as to limit the damages.
Les dégâts. Voilà ce qui s'est passé de façon globale.
The 70-seater bus, which left Yaoundé and was heading to Garua for the university games, experienced a mechanical fault at the Bay Cliff, causing the driver to lose control of his steering, resulting to the ghastly accident.
Nous avons constaté avec l'état-major qu'il y avait un certain amateurisme et même une inexpérience du chauffeur, doublée de problèmes mécaniques.
The driver seems to have been inexperienced, coupled with the fact that the vehicle wasn't in a good state. We urge the organizing committee of the university games to make sure that buses are in good state and that the drivers have a mastery of these routes.
Son ensemble, donc qui sera sûr que les bus qui mettent pour ces jeux universitaires sont non seulement en bon état et que les chauffeurs soient ceux-là qui maîtrisent l'itinéraire.
The 30 injured students are currently receiving treatment in different health facilities in Gaoundéré. At least 3,000 students are waited in Garua for the university games, which kicks off on the 25th of May 2024.
And now we talk something else. A fake landlord is currently being interrogated by security forces at the Equinoxe Territorial Gendarmerie Brigade here in Douala. Kevin Franklin claimed he owned several houses and lands in the city of Douala as he has extorted at least 28 million francs CFA from his victims. Ese Luciliengu explains his modus operandi in the following report.
Since 2019, an alleged fake landlord by name Kevin Franklin has been extorting millions of francs CFA from several people in the city of Douala, with modus operandi working in complicity with fake real estate agents and even security guards. The suspect leased fake contracts and receipts to his victims.
En 2021, par le biais d'un agent immobilier que j'ai eu à contacter.
In 2021, I contacted one of his fake agents who presented some houses which were available in Bonamusadi. The next day, I came with my wife and some witnesses to disburse the money. the sum of 1,300,000 francs CFA, and he told me I had to give 100,000 francs to one agent and 50,000 francs to another. Few days after, I noticed that he was fake, so I laid a complaint.
Another victim, Mbele Fidel, says she paid the sum of 1,555,000 francs CFA to the suspect for rent. A series of complaints launched by at least 26 victims in various gendarmerie brigades led to the arrest of the suspect.
Depuis vendredi jusqu'à maintenant, nous avons reçu, je pense, si j'ai bonne mémoire, 16 victimes. Hormis celles-là, nous devons, dans nos archives ici, avoir plus d'une dizaine également.
He also deceived several persons with his fake identities.
On veut être en possession de notre argent et que justice soit faite.
The fake landlord is currently in the hands of security forces of the Equinoxe Territorial Gendarmerie Brigade for further interrogations. Meantime, the gendarme officers call on the population to remain vigilant.
Meantime, 2 individuals believed to be members of a gang of armed bandits operating in parts of the Electoral have been arrested by police officials of the Electoral Judicial Police. The individuals presented as fugitives had escaped from the Newbell prison in Douala and the principal prison in Banga. We have details with Fomi Armstrong Sander.
An automatic pistol, 6 bullets, a magazine and 3 daggers seized from a certain Musa Ramadan and his alleged accomplice Hosseini, presented as members of a gang of armed bandits operating in the littoral region of Cameroon. While presenting the two to the public at the Littoral Judicial Police Headquarters in Bonanjo Douala, Police Commissioner and head of the research unit, Esono Edouard Arsène Gerard, said Musa Ramadan, initially known as Musa Hamidou, is a fugitive.
On November 2022, the name Musa Hamidou was involved in several robberies in Douala, one of which resulted in the death of a security guard in Akwa district. He was subsequently arrested on May 18, 2023 and detained at Newbell Central Prison. However, he was able to escape in February 2024 and, having obtained a false national identity card under the name Musa Ramadan in an illicit circuit, he went on to commit several assaults in the company of Hosseini, who had also escaped from Banga prison.
The two then held onto their old habits before falling back into police dragnet.
The investigation launched by our anti-crime squad led to the arrest on May 8, 2024, and a seizure of an automatic pistol with a magazine containing 6 rounds of ammunition, as well as 2 daggers.
The police says Hosseini and Musa Ramadan will be handed over to the State Council at the Douala Military Court.
And in Marwa, far north region of Cameroon, visually impaired persons at a regional center saw their premises reduced to ashes following a fire incident which broke out early this morning. The incident caused enormous material damage, as Sergi Chakutio tells us in his report.
It was a bad Thursday morning in Mara, far north region of Cameroon. Young individuals visually impaired at the regional center saw their premises burst into flames following a fire incident which broke out early Thursday.
Je ne sais pas comment je peux dire ça. Au niveau du bloc administratif, il y a trop de choses dedans. Même mon diplôme se retrouve dedans. Avec beaucoup de documents très importants de l'école. La nutrition des pensionnaires, même c'est dans le même matériel.
Though firefighters arrived on the scene to contain the fire, the incident had already caused significant material damage.
Ça fait 4 salles. La salle d'initiation, la salle informatique, le dortoir des filles et le bloc administratif.
Informed of the situation, the governor, alongside local authorities of the Far North region, arrived on the scene.
Fortunately, there's nobody died, nobody injured, but the material, the damage is very important.
The governor assured the reconstruction of the institution and the security of the students.
We are fetching way of means to accompany them because they are students. Some of them are coming from different divisions, and their parents are not there. So a meeting will be held tomorrow by the SDO to see how, first of all, to rebuild this dormitory, and the hierarchy also will be informed in the future to see how to modernize this structure.
According to unofficial sources, a poor electrical connection is at the origin of this tragedy.
A mother of triplets, Fomikong Alice, an internally displaced person from the northwest region, is now stranded after giving birth to her babies. And in the town of Bamenda, a 2-year-old girl was abandoned by her own biological mother. Details of this story and more with our reporter, Mala Glory.
Here at the maternity ward of the Buddha District Hospital, West Region, is an internally displaced young lady from the crisis-hit Northwest Region who has given birth to triplets. Her main challenge is how to take care of the little angels.
And we all know that when a woman delivers one child, her needs are enormous. And when it comes to the case of an internally displaced person, like Madame Alice from Ekong, who has delivered 3 children in abject poverty and stress, it becomes very, very difficult.
The parent to the 2 boys and a girl complained that without a job, no home of theirs, they are now stranded.
You know, easy inside the sofa, you get inside means for look at them.
And therefore calls for help from the general public. Away from that is a 2-year-old girl that has been abandoned in front of an orphanage at Foncha Street in the town of Bamenda. Abandoned by her own mother, the child was left alongside a shopping bag which contained few of her clothes. She was found by a passerby who called the attention of the inhabitants. In the time of this report, we were informed the mother to the girl was discovered. Though many attribute such situation to the present economic hardship in the country.
And now we talk something else. Secondary education stakeholders in the Southwest region have confirmed their readiness in ensuring a hitch-free written phase of the GCE ordinary and advanced level examinations. Cornelius Awuja, who is in charge of exams at the regional delegation of secondary education Southwest region, says that they noticed a significant increase in the number of students who sit in for exams this year. Smajikan Gabriel reports.
In some few days to come, students of the Anglophone subsection of education will commence with the written phase of examinations organized by the Cameroon GCE Board at one of the center and accommodation center, Bilingual Grammar School in Moliko Boya. Last-minute preparations are ongoing. At the level of the delegation of secondary education in the Southwest region, several meetings have been held to prepare for the exams, with a special emphasis laid on vigilance.
For this year, we will intensify the supervision rate and also make sure that those who are supposed to act like invigilators are teachers that are qualified, and also to increase the number of supervision staff per center depending on the number of candidates in that center.
Notwithstanding the ongoing crisis that has caused many to be displaced, the region has witnessed an increase in the number of students who registered for the exams this year.
This year we have had a significant increase as regard to all the exams that is run in this region. In the GCE last year we had 42,014 candidates total for GCE last year. But this year we have 44,337. This gives us an increase of 2,323.
Examiners, supervisors and invigilators have been left with this message.
We are still emphasizing that the examiner should be of good conduct. They should know that the duty that they have been assigned to do is a difficult task, and they have to do everything possible to to give the exams the credibility it deserves, because the credibility starts from the writing session to the marking session. So we are calling upon all the examiners to exercise their duty properly and make sure that they carry it without any bias.
The practicals of the Cameroon GCE board exams started earlier this month and will culminate to the written phase of the exams later this month to end in June 2024.
And now to our political page. Less than 100 days left for the electoral register to be closed, but many Cameroonians are yet to have their names on the electoral register. A political actor, Carlos Gualem, urges Cameroonians to rush to registration centers now while it's still possible in order to avoid inconveniences at the last minute. He also stresses that there will be no registration in the electoral year 2025. Innocent Aze reports.
Est-ce que vous êtes déjà inscrit sur la liste électorale?
Pas encore, pas encore.
This city dweller, for instance, is one of many Cameroonians who have not registered their names on the electoral register. He is still unaware he can register with an ID kit. According to him, delay for the issuance of his original ID card is an obstacle.
On va voir si c'est possible que les cartes d'identité puissent sortir pour que je puisse aller m'inscrire.
Explained to him the possibility of having his name on the electoral register with an ID kit. This fellow Cameroonian, who is unaware registration ends in less than 100 days, says he will endeavor to register before the August 31st deadline elapses or register next year.
En 2025, je peux toujours m'inscrire. Il n'y a pas de problème là-bas.
To avoid inconveniences, a political actor urges Cameroonians in similar situations to rush to registration centers and register their names before the process ends.
Les Camerounais doivent aller massivement s'inscrire sur les listes électorales.
Cameroonians have to rush to centers and register massively on the electoral register, because if the electoral calendar is respected, municipal and legislative elections will hold in February 2025. After that, the presidential election will take place, so there will be no room for registration again.
Il reste 98 jours.
Anyone hoping to register at the last minute is warned of inevitable inconveniences.
Il y a les bousculades qui peuvent vous empêcher de le faire.
Those who hope will be given the green light to register in 2025 are called to wake up from slumber.
Non, moi je pense qu'on est sensible.
I think registration is not done the year elections are held, like in 2025, because by then the Electoral College must have been convened in November 2024. After the municipal and legislative elections, we will dive straight into the presidential election, so there will be no room for registration again.
Dans ces conditions, on ne peut pas ouvrir les listes lorsque le corps électoral est déjà convoqué.
Cameroonians are also reminded not to succumb to intimidation from anyone supporting the ruling party while at registration centers.
Innocent Aze reporting there. Away from politics, inhabitants of Bafaka and Eku Balwe in Ekondo Titi subdivision are sending distress calls to their elites over the deplorable state of their roads, especially with the coming of the rains. The people, who are basically farmers, say their farm-to-market roads are bad and it's difficult for them to transport their products. Elsewhere, a truck belonging to the Cameroon Cotton Development Company has caught flames. The cause of the fire is not yet known. Smajikan Gabriel reports.
Inhabitants of Bafaka and Ekubalwe in Ekondo Titi subdivision hold the bulls by its horns due to the lack of good roads that will enable them to transport their cocoa products to town. They have engaged in opening the roads by themselves.
The Ekwe people are also doing a nice job down there. It's only Kumbe and Koto who are absent. But for these two villages, Bafaka and Ekwe, we are doing very well.
The people of Bafaka and Ekubalwe say the opening of the roads is to prepare for their harvest period, which is around the corner. They have this message for their elites. The elites could support us by giving us some finance that we shall use to buy some crude materials like spade, diggers, and saw some woods that we shall use to enable easy movement on where we've dug gutters. The almost 7 years armed conflict in the southwest and northwest regions has made it difficult for any bulldozer to be sent to this stretch of road. Elsewhere, the Cotton Development Company, Sodi Cotton, has lost one of its lorries. The lorry that left Njambutu en route to Pitua caught fire at the mix control during a control exercise. The intervention of the elements of the firefighters unit helped in stopping the flames from consuming the entire vehicle. Elements of the Gendarmerie Brigade of Pumpumre, headed by Commander Abakachi Seidu, secured the zone for the content in the lorry not to be stolen.
Cameroon joined the world to commemorate World Biodiversity Day yesterday. Environmentalists took the opportunity to advise that air and water pollution should be limited at all costs so as to preserve the lives of plants and animals and ensure a better world for the coming generation. Annabella with the details.
All living organisms are interdependent on each other for life to continue. Plants and animals can only be properly protected when biodiversity, which is at the center of our being, is jealously conserved. Environmentalist Dr. Nkumbe Sone Makoli explains what biodiversity consists of.
Biodiversity is just a set of all the articles or what is found within the environment, everything that is found in the environment that lives, that concerns fauna and flora, that interacts with the natural environment. We have trees, we have animals, we have water, air, and so on. That interaction is what gives biodiversity.
Protecting and conserving the environment we live in is imperative, but how can that be achieved?
By maintaining what we already have, like biodiversity, national parks, regional parks, international parks, and as well as reducing the degree of pollution in a given environment. And we reduce pollution in several ways. We reduce pollution through water, air, soil. Another way by which we can protect biodiversity is by protecting natural habitats.
Air and water pollution have untold consequences on livelihoods. Destroying biodiversity can lead to some environmental hazards such as severe floods, desertification, advancements of the desert, global warming, among others.
If biodiversity is destroyed, we are going to have depletion. We are going to have extinction of some species of animals, and the extinction of some species of animals will lead to a disruption in the productivity process of either plants or animals.
To commemorate the World Biodiversity Day, some organs which are poised to see to it that empowerment and biodiversity is protected, like the Worldwide Fund for Nature, insist that the younger generation must be actively involved in outdoor activities so as to educate them on the importance of tree planting, environmental protection, and biodiversity conservation.
And now let's take this advertorial. The #1 education consultancy firm in Africa, Globus Education, is making giant strides to promote education for all Africans. It has organized an international exhibition for Canadian universities in Yaoundé. The 4-day event started yesterday. Babla Jonathan reports.
Young Cameroonians knocking at the doors of Canadian universities, they are asking questions on how they can realize their dreams of studying in Canada. Globus Education Systems has brought the answers to their questions through the ongoing international exhibition of Canadian universities in Yaoundé.
On the 22nd of January 2024, the Canadian government announced new changes in the study permit procedures to Canada. So we decided that today we should invite the public and tell them the new procedures. That is no longer business as usual. So that is why we are organizing this exhibition for Canadian universities. We are exhibiting more than 50 universities here today at Jega Palace Hotel. We are saying that once you come here, approach the various universities, ask them the kind of programs that they are offering, what is the cost of that program, what is the living cost of that city where that university is situated, and what does it take to start the process.
A unique opportunity to meet representatives from over 50 Canadian universities, discuss a wide range of study and work programs and scholarships, attend conferences and workshops led by education experts, and get personalized advice on your post-general certificate of education GC advanced level career path and even jobs in Canada.
Jobs is just less than 10% of the services that we provide. Global education systems, our main business is to assist students who want to study abroad. That is the main business that we are doing. But along the line, we have also realized that there are some skills that are presently being needed in Canada. So we are also trying to assist some students who have concluded their studies and have those skills to go to Canada and work directly. Cameroonians should trust global education systems because global education system is the #1 education consultancy company in Africa. We are represented in 6 African countries and we are headquartered here in Yaoundé.
The exhibition gives participants a broad understanding of the opportunities Canadian universities offer and the importance of studying in Canada.
Study abroad is very good, especially for me. I'm a graduate with a cybersecurity bachelor's degree, and I could use the skills in advancing my master's in other technological fields to help in the cyber industry in Cameroon.
I hope to travel to Canada as soon as possible because I think there they have a better experience when it concerns the academic field, when it concerns every school of life.
Running from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the conference ends on Friday. Globus Education Systems is breaking new grounds to facilitate and enhance quality education for Africans from across the continent.
And that advertorial on Globus Education ends this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for your keen attention. Up next is Equinoxe Soir with Serge Alengoto. Stay with us.